Hello, we went live this particular moment.
That's a great start. We are live. Yay, once again.
And live.
Live and alive. Nothing better.
Yeah. Um, Today we have an interesting, not guest, but topic, Q&A. And we got some questions before, but if you have something that really interests you, you can just pop it in the comments and we'll see just to answer this also. So hello to all and let's start.
Let us start. We just got a few more, and I have to tell you, Darko, they are related to food. Last minute question.
I'm sure they are. Everybody's interested in food, so yeah.
I think we should start with those to get us
Oh, I thought you were gonna
in
say
the
I
mood.
think we should start with a food podcast.
No, that's your task.
Well,
I'm not an expert. You are.
yeah.
Let's see. How long does Darko spend taking pictures of his food when he goes out to eat?
Oh, how long do I take? Actually, not. When I do take pictures of my food on a plate when the waiter brings the food, which is not really that common lately, it might be perhaps a minute or two. I hate it to go cold and not to be tasteful. So yeah, no, just snap, snap, and that's it.
I expected that answer. You're there to eat.
Yeah, of course.
um, the next one is also food related. Would you
Where
rather
do you see these questions? I
they
don't
they
see.
just
Okay,
came
okay, you
on
will
LinkedIn?
read them today because I have no idea where these questions.
I put them
You
in our
might
notes.
just produce them out of thin air. So who knows?
Maybe I'll
It's
add
maybe
it.
something you're interested in.
Mm. Would
Mm.
you rather eat only your favorite dish for the rest of your life or never eat it again?
Um, let's say never eat it again because there is not one favorite fish
Fish.
food dish. There is no favorite fish I have, but dishes that are my favorites are quite plenty. So yeah, I don't know if I could live without all of them and just some black food. Well, I don't know, but okay.
Okay, I would agree with that one. Definitely eating the same thing over and over again. I don't think humans are built for that.
Yeah, not like let's say what what fascinates me. Dogs get at least our dogs get every day the same food. They these crackers and they eat them and they are happy with them every day. It's all the same, but they're happy with it.
It's a simple life.
Yeah. Good morning,
Good
Katrina.
morning. We are actually live. There are people in the chat. Katerina, fire off with the questions if you have any. Nella is with us as well.
Nella, it's
Hello.
sunny day.
Sunny day or sunny mood or both.
I don't know if we can just put the questions in there to be visible already in the screen, but okay.
Maybe if we put them in the chat.
Yeah, so I'll see the questions too.
Sure.
Okay, what other questions did you find?
All right. Let's see. There was another one about food, and that's
Why,
this one.
why is it all about food? It's not supposed to be all about food.
Have you taken any food shots for any chefs we might know?
Uh, what part of the globe is the question from? I don't
I
know.
think
Perhaps you have
Rena
eaten from
asked
these
this
chefs.
one.
Rena.
Yeah,
No, 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 no,
no
no. I
one.
don't think so. No, I don't think so. Basically, locally here in Croatia, so no.
Where in Croatia did you take pictures? Everywhere or in a
Here locally, something in Zagreb, something in Zadar. So yeah.
Okay. Did you have a favorite moment?
Yeah, my favorite moment is when you finish with the shoots, at least with the dish, then you get to eat it usually. So that is my favorite moment. Yeah.
Is it not too
Because you
cold
need to taste it also, how it tastes, not just the visuals.
when you take proper pictures? Does the food get
I
cold? Does
always
it take
take
more
proper
time?
pictures. What a improper picture. What do you mean you take proper pictures?
Um, how do I get
What
out of
kind
this?
of question is that? When you take proper.
Like a proper amount, not just a quick picture. I don't know how demanding your clients were. Did they ask for like 200? Did the food get cold?
No, that is a problem with the food. It's basically depending on the dish. You might have perhaps a couple of seconds to take all the pictures you need, so there are not that too many. If it's about some biscuits or something like that, okay, you can have it all day to shoot it. But with food and restaurants, there is usually a very small amount of time that you can take it. So, like for example, simple dish that everyone knows, pizza. It gets all mushy and everything. At least you have perhaps 1 minute to take it, and then it's not the same anymore. So yeah, and it's even worse with some desserts that have this whipped cream and everything. That's basically seconds.
Okay, so it's a rush, a sprint to get
Yeah, it's
the
a rush.
best.
You basically just pre do everything before, test it, and when the chef brings the food, then you have everything prepared and take the shots, and that's basically it.
Okay.
Oh, Katerina, yeah, so proper. Oh, it's always proper, Mister
Um,
Proper.
have you ever taken pictures of food that you really
Are
hate
these
and
the
didn't want to
questions that
try?
you? I think these will be the
Pick up
questions
from the
from the
comments.
crowd, not from
Come
you.
on. Fine, you pick the next one. They're all in the notes.
Oh, okay. And I need to put it in the comments, right, to be visible.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just let's see. Uh, okay. Okay. What is something about podcasting that completely surprised you once you started doing it?
Hmm. What surprised me? I think that it's easier than I thought it would be. And that was a
I
surprise.
told you so.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. You
Oh,
have to experience it first.
you you have to
You
experience it
came.
too.
You came with years of experience. I thought you were saying this was easy because it was easy for you, but
Well, yeah, it's easy. You just click the go live button, and then that's basically it. So there is no real problem with it. So yeah, uh, what I can say from my side, what surprised me, and well, basically, first time I did a live show, uh, it was there is quite a delay, couple of seconds when people see it, and when tried it, tested it for the first time, I also was looking at end result. I think it was also streamed to LinkedIn, and I put it to start streaming, and nothing happened. and then I waited and I waited, and it maybe took 10, 15 seconds when I first saw that this stream is working and that it's visible there. So
Okay, so the delay was
it
even
looked
worse before.
confusing at least. Yeah, delay is quite long.
Okay.
Perhaps it's much shorter now, but there is a delay for sure.
Yeah, that's something to take into account.
Yeah. So when you start streaming, you live streaming, you need to take it into account when you ask someone for the comment or for the answer in the comments that it could take quite a long time when they see when they hear you asking that and when they react. So yeah, you need to take this in consideration.
Yeah, I think it's good information for our viewers as well, because often we get messages at the end like, "Oh, thank you, it was great," but it's 3 minutes after we've stopped streaming. So we're not
Yeah.
ignoring you. It's just the delay.
Yeah, we already stopped streaming, so yeah.
That's it. Okay. I was also surprised actually at the willingness of our guests. I thought that it would be harder to get people onto our show, but most people
Hmm.
say yes fairly quickly. That was also not something that I
Why does it surprise
expected,
you?
because people's fear of public speaking is like enormous.
Okay.
It's one of the, like, I think some studies show that people when asked about their biggest fear say public speaking more often than like death.
Yeah.
So I thought that a lot of them would say, yeah, no way. But they were
Okay.
all really accepting of the idea.
I can answer you this then because our audience is so huge and millions come to our show. That's why it technically cannot be called public speaking. Perhaps intimate conversation.
Okay.
So there's no real problem to come to our show.
Excellent. I have to ask, Mary is in the audience. Did that help you,
What
the
it mean?
fact that it was an intimate show, to say yes to us? Mary, please answer. So this is like a niche concert rather than a big stage.
Yeah, I would say so. So exactly. Okay, I have another one also about podcasting. What's one thing you disagree on when it comes to running the podcast? I'm not sure what is it. What do we do disagree, or what actually is the question about? I don't know the context of this.
I'm not sure. Um, is there something we fight about when it comes to our show?
Oh, I don't know. Do we fight about
I
something?
don't think so. I think we come with different perspectives, and there's a lot of things we disagree on, but they're not very relevant.
Hmm,
I don't think they
yeah,
stop us from going live. So nothing
yeah,
really comes to mind.
yeah. Nothing really. Well, I mean, okay. There is perhaps a thing. I don't know if you see it that way, or at least I think you see it that way, because I tend not to prepare as much as you and dig into deeper questions. I just let it flow, the conversation how it is, and whenever something pops up, I just ask there, whatever it is. So there is a bit of difference there. I
Yeah,
don't know if
different
you disagree
approach.
with that approach.
No, because that's actually an advantage, I think. I think because we have
Okay, so
different
why do you
approaches, it
prepare then?
works. Because it
If you
works for
think you're
me.
for you, okay.
Yeah, so I don't forget something that I think is important, but I do like that you come in with something different because I think it makes it more dynamic. So
Mm,
I
yeah,
don't think it's a problem.
sure.
Mary didn't get our question. Okay, so we
Yeah,
were
and I can only just acknowledge this that even the vast amount of people that come here, they don't even notice that our what are we talking about. So it's not really a problem when you come to the show. They just come here to put the comments there. Probably they don't listen. So you can come to our show. It's a very intimate conversation, perhaps more or less between three of us. Then when you come to our show. So Mary, question was. Did the intimacy of our show that we don't have that many viewers help with you agreeing to be our guest?
also this will be so funny, Darko, once we go viral and have millions.
Yes, you're projecting something. Okay.
Vesna is saying good morning. Hi, Vesna. Thank you
Morning,
for coming.
Vesna. Do you have any more questions
Mm-hmm. I'm
about
coming.
food? I presume.
I don't think there are any more about food,
Oh, this was
so
it about food. Okay, great.
they'll come in the chat. Okay, here it is. What have you learned about yourself through doing this show together?
I
What
don't
have
know.
you learned about yourself?
I'm not sure. I'll learn that. I don't know. Okay, you first. What did you learn?
What did I learn? What did I learn? Mm,
This is a tough question, actually.
it is.
I didn't think about it, that I learned something through having a show. Okay.
I think I learned that these live conversations are not that different from lessons. So that it's something that, I think a lot of teachers would feel natural doing. So that applies to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that these things energize me. I just never connected that to a podcast as well. Liking teaching could actually mean that you might like doing things like this. So
Yeah, but like you said, it's in a way it's kind of teaching also.
yeah, that I think this more answers that question about what were you surprised about as well, rather than some deep, insight about my nature. Because I think
Mm,
there was nothing particularly surprising there.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Mary answered our
Oh,
question while you're thinking. It's not the fact that it's small and intimate, at least not for me. I love the laughs and natural flow. It's so personal and honest. Thank you,
no.
Mary.
Thank you.
That's nice to hear. Okay. Have you thought of anything?
Um, well, perhaps that I can have a normal conversation in English, which is not only technical. Okay, something like this.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad
Yeah,
insight.
yeah.
What about collaborating on a podcast? Have you done that before? Or were you always going solo?
In this way, no. I did interviews, but collaborating with co-hosting, no. So this was my first. So regarding this, yeah, it's much easier to do it with someone else. So yeah, it's much easier than to start yourself and you have to do everything by yourself. So yeah, this is also regarding podcasting with a hot co-host.
Okay. I think we'll come back to that with some of the other questions. Vesna is asking, you two make a good team. How did you decide to do this together? Do you know each other for a long time?
No,
No.
actually, we never met in person. So yeah, uh, we did meet in Edu's what is
Work show
its
up.
workshop. So it's a kind of education by Vishnya Zhelyak, and there was an idea to create some project together between students, and we can make a podcast. So why not?
Yeah, it was very sudden and quick. And no, we didn't know each other well. Um, we
Yeah. So that's
started
the
with
story. Nothing bad.
Yeah, we started with LinkedIn audio. Maybe some of you in the audience might remember. And then because Darko is a photographer and likes the video format, he suggested that. So that was the next step. I think that
Yeah,
was also
and because
connected.
LinkedIn audio is also not available anymore.
Yes. Yeah. LinkedIn also
Yeah.
kind of decided for us that they are
Yeah.
retiring the audio format.
Yeah. So this is also additional problem with it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. We have one from, I think this was from Nella.
Hmm.
How do you keep consistency and motivation to appear regularly and to look presentable in the morning?
Okay.
Um, I think we
Do you
answered
want
that
first?
because there's two of us. That's what makes it much easier for me. That there's somebody else that keeps me accountable. I have
Really?
a promise to you, not just
Oh,
to myself, to come every Thursday. And then, of course, our guests as well.
yeah. Because when you invite guests, okay, it's not really great if you let them do the show themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
For me,
well,
that's a
well
major one.
yeah. So accountability. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And the presentable part also.
I don't know. I wake up, I wash my face. My hair is mostly all over the place. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing special there.
Yeah. I don't think there is something. I don't know what that would mean to be presentable. I mean, but you just wake up, you wash yourself, and that's basically it. I don't think you need to be more presentable in the even video live show podcast, whatever it's called. Then you need to be presentable to your family because you care about them more than people who may or may not come to the live shows. So I don't think that's the point of being presentable on video on live shows. So I do it because I do it every morning. I don't know. I'm not sure even if I'm presentable enough, but okay, this is how I
Yeah,
look like.
that's a question to ask our audience. Are we presentable?
I don't know.
What does it even
Yeah,
mean not to be presentable? I guess
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So that someone else
Inappropriate.
can see you and not to be afraid. Perhaps
Ah,
I
okay.
don't know. But
So
you need to do that also yourself because you will just scare yourself in the morning in the bathroom if you're not presentable that way. So
that's
no.
true. Hairbrush, I guess, and not even that's helping too much.
Okay,
Partly,
okay, we might have gone too far.
maybe. Mary is saying that we are gorgeous. Thank you,
Oh,
Mary.
thank you, Mary.
We appreciate
We're
the flattery.
presentable, approved.
All right. Next question.
Where is it? Oh,
What do you dislike about live streaming the most? This one was from Vishnya, who got us here.
Ah, okay.
You first.
I don't know. I like everything. I don't know what wouldn't I dislike.
Um, I'm not a big fan of the great potential for all the things that can go wrong technically, I have to say. I've become much more patient with it,
Okay.
but it's something that annoys me.
Mm.
So that would be, yeah, the worst, especially if we have a guest, because I know that confuses them and makes them nervous, if something goes wrong.
Okay.
So I'm not a fan of that. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I
but
can think of.
even if it's something catastrophic, you can postpone it for some other day. So
Sure,
I don't know
but
why the fear is there.
it's not fear anymore. It's just annoyance.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, not again. Not my stupid camera again.
Yeah. Or I disappear completely because I'm somewhere in the tunnel and my internet is not working or whatever.
See, I don't mind when it's your technical issue. I have more
Ah.
understanding towards that than when one of mine decides to rebel. But I
Hmm.
think it's the fact that I work exclusively online. So, when
Okay.
that happens like 5 times in one week, that means that you will have to either postpone or use more of your time for these meetings
Hmm.
that went wrong. And that's a hassle. So,
So it's connected also to your usual work online.
yeah.
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 So it's basically just online work part of the online work that you dislike
Yeah,
altogether. Technical
definitely.
issues.
The PK saying, "Why am I not surprised by Darko's? I don't dislike anything."
What is this correctly said? I don't know.
Yeah, all
I
good.
don't listen. Okay.
All good.
Or I like everything, so why not?
People
What
have
would
got
be
to
there
know
to
you.
dislike? I don't know.
It's your
Technical issues
natural
or something.
environment.
So you just whatever. It's my natural. Yeah, right.
And I saying Darko is just a chill guy. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I would ask a question, but I'm I'm gonna go for
Thank
the
you.
next one from LinkedIn.
Better not.
Yeah.
What what would be the question that you would like to ask? Is it about food, perhaps?
No, no, no. We
Oh,
have
okay.
we have a different area of interest now, and that's tourism.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, so we are going by the topics. Okay.
yes, no, the order that they were on LinkedIn. This was
Hmm.
Rena's as well. She said, "Are there any hidden gems we ought to visit in Croatia?" I think she mentioned that she was in Zadar and maybe Dubrovnik. What
Hmm.
would you say, Darko? What's like off the beaten
Oh,
path?
oh. Did you see the Sphinx in Zadar, perhaps, when you were there? There's a hidden gem where most of the people don't see even as tourists that visit Zadar, perhaps.
Mhm.
In Dubrovnik, what is my favorite part is the hill above Dubrovnik, Surge, which is really nice to see below and the whole city and the islands around it. So this is my favorite part of Dubrovnik. I don't know. Also, that the tours even go there because it's really steep and just narrow road to there. So I don't know if the buses even go up there. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can go with taxi.
Mhm. What
So
about
at least in Dubrovnik and Zadar, and for every part of Croatia, you have something really interesting.
for sure? Is there a city or a town that doesn't get enough love, but you think people should visit it more?
I don't know. Hmm. I'm not sure which places do tourists or people who visit Croatia do visit most. So it's probably Dubrovnik and Zadar, Split, Zagreb. So the bigger cities, more tourist exposed. It depends what you want to see. I don't know. For example, about gyms. Here, not far away from where I live, we have I think the first or the second uh, oil rig in the world.
Okay,
So yeah, so this is
I didn't know
interesting.
that.
Yeah. So
Where is
it's
that?
the place, the small village is called Peklenica, and it's basically in the local language something like the meaning is hell village, something like that, because the oil basically just goes out of the directly from the ground, and it starts burning. It at least started burning at some point of time, and
Mm,
they call it that way.
right, it must have been dramatic to see it, especially the first time.
You know, I don't know when it happened. Probably a couple of 100 years ago. That's why it's
Mhm.
called Hell Village.
Okay. When I think about Croatia, like there are tourists everywhere in the south.
In the south. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say this is the inner part, the continental part of the Croatia, is not that much explored by tourists, and which is a pity. And they do see it mostly as a Mediterranean country, which okay, yes, it is. But for me, I'm like at least 300 kilometers away from the sea, so I don't see it that way. But yeah, you have much more experience with the southern part and Dalmatia.
Yeah, for Makarska Riviera, I would say Brela is
Hmm.
a gem that I would always recommend out of those small places because it's a bit different. It's calmer and a bit more picturesque, I'd say, than the rest. There might be a bigger chance of you to have some peace and quiet at the seaside. And
Yeah,
I think the north is ignored. I'm more curious about it, to be honest, because I don't know as much about it.
yeah,
And I think a lot of tourists ignore our neighbors, Bosnia and Herzegovina, as well. So I would recommend going around the region because there are many really beautiful natural sites.
yeah. The nature is quite magnificent around here. So yeah,
For sure.
that's
Okay. We have some questions in the chat, some new ones.
oh,
Vesna is asking, did it ever happen that the conversation got stuck when you were live? It must be easier since you're not alone.
it did get stuck from the start today.
Um,
There was a couple of seconds of silence, at
it
least
was
a couple of
patience.
seconds. I didn't know what to say. I don't know if you waited for me to say something more, but
I think we have this all the time. Um, that's a normal thing in conversations, isn't it? We try not to let it happen for too long. One of us takes over, and it is easier because there's two of us. But I don't think we've ever stayed silent for like 10 minutes for it
no,
to be an issue.
perhaps not. I don't know.
I
I
can't
think
remember.
more of an issue is when we have a guest and both of us want to ask some question at the same time. So yeah, that's more of an issue.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, when there's two of us and different trains of thought, maybe we're thinking of completely different things when we hear something from our guests. So
Yeah,
takes some coordination. Rina is saying Dubrovnik is beautiful, but it was incredibly crowded. Yes,
yeah, yeah. That's the not so pretty part of Dubrovnik, and that's what you get when you get on that hill. There is not that many people up there.
that's true. You need to get away a bit. to get a perspective. And
Oh,
Anna,
Anna said, why we don't talk about the gems of Basingstoke?
Basingstoke
Basingstoke.
is
Oh, sorry, I pronounced incorrect. Basingstoke.
no worries.
Wow.
Basingstoke is a satellite London town which doesn't have a whole lot of history. There's Old Basing that has a bit of that uh, charm of an English village, but generally
Hmm.
speaking, it's just rows of residential buildings and houses. It's not that exciting. What is nice here is the old graveyard. Actually, I will sound like I don't know, a vampire lover of gothic
Okay.
literature or something.
So
But
you visited these grave sites in the night?
at night, no, no.
No.
But
Well,
during the day, when it's
not that
sunny,
kind of
it's
vampire.
actually it's actually quite a nice place to like sit down and read a book because it's not manicured, unlike a lot of like English lawns, which I don't like. I like when there's growth and a bit of wilderness because that's what I'm used to from my childhood. So you
Hmm.
see that there's actually rabbits there. There's flowers. There's like an old ruin. So it's quite a nice place to sit down and observe and think about how we are all creatures who will perish and nothing is that important really. So I like
Yeah.
the place.
So philosophical places. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there something to eat there also?
At the graveyard.
Well, perhaps not at a graveyard, but Basingstoke. Basingstoke. Oh, yeah.
Basingstoke.
Basingstoke. Okay.
There's quite a few different restaurants actually. There's a variety of places.
Hmm.
Um, my favorite is a new Japanese place because they have a vegan sushi collection, and that's not something that I see a lot. So I can be included. I know. I've
I'm not
baffled
going
you.
to ask. No. Okay, let's just leave it. No. Okay.
How to stop
Okay. Next question.
conversations.
Okay. No. No.
Here's the disagreement. This is the core.
What? What is it? Seaweed. What is vegan sushi?
Yep, seaweed mostly. You are correct.
Okay.
Seaweed and pickled ginger.
And that's it.
That's it. There's nothing else in there. There's
Okay.
like 15 different types of vegetables that they put in. They make it quite a variety
Sea
actually.
vegetables.
Sea vegetables. Vegetables. Just vegetables. Normal old vegetables.
How is that sushi then?
I don't know. Ask them.
Okay.
They
Okay.
qualified it as
So,
sushi. So
traditional
I go
British
with the
food.
flow.
Okay. Okay. So that
I
is
don't like traditional British food, I have to say. The only thing that I got on board with is Marmite, which is a very controversial food item
okay.
in England.
What is it?
It's a yeast spread.
Yeast spread.
Yes.
Hmm.
Your facial expression is.
No, I was just
Uh,
wondering what it tastes like.
I'll bring it to you.
Interesting.
It's something that
Oh,
I make people try.
okay. Well, I'm interested how this tastes. Okay. Yeah.
It's very intense and umami.
Hmm.
And if you get the right amount with butter, it's very tasty for me.
But only if you get the right amount of butter.
It's no, the right amount, the right ratio with butter because people use it differently. I put quite
Okay.
a lot, which even English people like, how can you eat so much Marmite at once? Because it's so intense. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of people hate it because they try too much at once. It's something that you need to be very careful with.
Okay. Okay.
We
So
can have a
it's just a
live
spread.
tasting.
You cannot create bread afterwards with it.
You can put it in things. You can put it in stews to
No,
add a bit
no,
of
it's
flavor.
it's still yeast or not?
It's not active yeast. You can't use it
Ah,
to help bread
okay,
grow. I don't think.
okay, okay. I'll need to taste that. So, thank you. Okay, so some hidden gem in Basingstoke.
For sure. Abigail is also a Marmite lover in the comments. She says it tastes unbelievable. Yes, it's very
Okay,
hard to
I'll
believe.
take your word for it. Thank you, Abigail.
And she's saying that vegan sushi is not something she sees often in Japan.
Yeah, it's not enough seen anywhere in the world.
Oh, for a reason.
Okay.
Rina is saying, that sounds lovely, Edita. I've been to Bosnia. I went on to Mostar, Sarajevo, and Travnik from Dubrovnik. Nice. That's quite a nice
Oh,
variety.
great. And I guess you have tasted cevapi in all these different cities because they are different and there's quite differences between varieties of cevapi there. Okay, sorry.
And no
Okay.
vegan ones.
Well,
So,
it just triggered those names of the cities. Oh, sorry.
all right. Abigail is saying, if you like dark beer or stout, you might like Marmite. Actually, that's a good point. Do you
Okay,
like dark beers?
I do. So
Okay.
okay. So it's like beer on the bread. Okay.
I think it's a byproduct of beer production, actually.
Oh.
So,
Oh, so it's a beer yeast. Oh, okay.
yeah, that's a good. I never thought about that, Abby. That's
Hmm,
actually a good connection.
interesting.
Okay. There is another
Did we miss
question.
something?
No, there's a last one from LinkedIn that I saw,
Oh,
unless there were new ones in the meantime. And that's this one. How do you determine the topics you want to talk about and find your amazing guests?
okay. So you need to answer it because I mostly do not even determine the topics, or you find all the guests.
I'm the scout
Ah,
in
yeah.
this. I have a very method approach, I have to say, and that is, I see someone interesting and I go, huh, I think we need them on our podcast. And then it's either because they deal with something that's interesting to me, or they're interesting as a person, and then we find the topic as a
Mhm.
secondary thing. And it's not always the same. So whatever is kind of in my field of vision that I'm attracted to. And I'm quite a curious person. So it's a lot of different things. And then I propose it to Darko, and Darko mostly says yes. And that is our
Yeah.
approach.
I dislike nothing. Yeah, what? Something is interesting in every topic, and every guest something has something interesting to talk about. So yeah, uh, at least if I would have some suggestions around the topics, it would be much more about food, and so I basically just leave it out to you, not just go too far in some other direction.
I'm open to that as well. You know that. So
Uh-huh. Okay.
it's an
Like
option.
we don't have enough talk about food anyway.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think we're both curious. I think that helps. And we are genuinely interested in what people have to say. So
Yeah.
it makes it fairly simple.
Yeah, we like to laugh. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a good way to start your day. Rena is saying, I was a meat eater when I went back in 2010. Otherwise, I would have been stuck. Yeah, I think
I
that helps.
wouldn't say so. I'm not really sure why do people think that in Bosnia, or at least here in Balkans, you would be stuck if you wouldn't eat meat, because at least in Bosnia you have so much, even vegan food, I would say, and different varieties. I like pies, for example. Okay, vegan, vegetarian. Okay, could you please translate it for me, Edita? Pita. Okay, it's not a pie actually, but it would translate it. But
I
some.
think people recognize the word burek because it's used in Turkey as well and
Yeah,
all
but we're
over the
talking
Balkans.
not about food with meat. So okay, yeah,
Um, there are a lot of different varieties of burek. I think actually means pie. So for a lot of people in Bosnia and Herzegovina, you can have
yeah, but it's
um,
not a
different types.
pie like.
It's not a pie for Rina, for example. For people here in England, when I say pie for the things we eat in Bosnia and Herzegovina, that's not the idea that they get. It's more of a pastry, more
Yeah,
what they would think of as a pastry that's filled with
something
different
like
fillings.
strudel for the June food, something in that direction. Not exactly, but something in that. So
Maybe, yeah,
it's done with potatoes. It's done with mushrooms, with cheese, with some other vegetables. So yeah,
yeah,
there's so much tasty food there.
yeah. I
Not
think
not all of it is meat based.
for sure. I think bakeries are a very good choice when you go around the Balkans because it's not just a morning snack. You can actually get a substantial meal there.
Yeah,
It's a different
and
approach.
desserts also. Like we have, there is baklava, but it's quite different than the Eastern baklava in Turkey. It's much more sweet and moisty. It's different, kind of. But yeah,
Yeah, it's like a shot of sugar straight to your veins. It's very sweet. It's good
yeah.
for waking up.
So yeah, there's quite a lot of it.
The Pika is saying, putting your curiosity to great use. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Rena said we can always find time to talk about food. I
Yeah,
think that's proven to be true.
sure.
And she said, ah, yes, I tried something made with phyllo and cheese. So you have been to a bakery of some kind,
Yeah.
then you know what we're talking about. All right. I think we went over all the questions that we got on LinkedIn. I will double check just in case that something
Oh, okay.
appeared
Great.
in the last couple of minutes, not to exclude anyone.
I hope we answer these questions as you wish them to be answered. Not going too far in some weird direction, perhaps.
I hope so. You can tell us. We take criticism um, fairly well, I think.
I'm still thinking about that presentable part. So I don't know.
Oh, come on. It's making me self conscious.
Yeah. I mean, like when you talk with other people, you don't need to be some specially prepared to look like something additionally presentable than any normal day. So yeah.
Um, since there are no questions, and you mentioned that, do people who come to get photographed by you, do they have that question all the time? Like, what's presentable? What should I wear?
No, yeah, they do, and basically it's the same answer I give them. Also, it's most of the people, most of the photographs I take, portraits, are business portraits and headshots. So I tell them to prepare as they are for their usual business day, or maybe for some first business meeting with their clients, and this is basically the way to prepare and to be presentable enough even for a photograph that will be on their profile and website. But it's enough presentable because, like there and also in the live show, you should be like you are every day and where people get to know you anyway.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You know the social rules that govern, know, clothing. There's nothing new to add there, really.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. There are some small details, like just to me not to have too distracting clothes and to have something that is not really getting all the focus visually, but nothing more than that.
oh, okay. So, what would be
Because
too
you're basically
distracting?
you're not on a fashion show when you're in photographing. If it's not really a fashion show, that I'm photographing, but also here in some video calls or live show, you're not on a fashion show to present your clothes. It's about you and not the clothes.
Right. So it can't be too loud because you're the focus.
Yeah,
That makes sense. I don't see a lot of loud business clothes to begin with, to be fair. People are quite conservative with their
yeah,
colors and shapes.
yeah. But then again, people tend to think that they need some additional help from the clothes to stand out, and it's not really the case. And when this, so the clothes stand out, not them. And
Hmm.
that's the problem. Even worse problem than that. Well,
That's a good point. It's like
they
photographing
get to know
product
you by
clothes.
your clothes, not by you.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I think we're out of questions. We'll give people a few more minutes because of that delay that we mentioned to see if anything else pops up.
Mhm.
And I don't know, what are some of the questions that your clients ask? What are the questions that you normally get a lot of the time? What's something you're used to answering?
About food.
About food? Yeah, maybe about food. Do they ask about food a lot? That's your new
No,
branding.
I don't know. There are quite a lot of questions there, but wow, uh, I don't think something is especially interesting here in this case. But uh, where you when we're actually in this Q&A section, what do they ask you for your lessons?
Um, One of the most frequent ones is how long does it take to learn English?
Hmm,
People really like to talk about time, and
okay.
it's not a they don't get an answer that they like there. And that it depends. Of course, it depends how much time they are willing to spend, and that
Okay.
it's not a quick process. But
Yeah.
the good side of things is if you have a background already, which most of my clients do, you can fairly quickly find ways of dealing with concrete situations well,
Hmm.
like the phrase or the construction that you can use repeatedly, because in my case it's business English, and business English has its structure, and for your industry or your business needs you don't need to know that much. So if we focus on just some parts of it, you can learn fairly quickly. If we talk about English as a language, like any other language, there are no quick answers and they never will be. And everyone who promises quick learning is lying to you.
Hmm. Look, I thought you were gonna say how long does it take? That you were gonna say you're never gonna learn it completely. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
If we're talking about learning a language, that's a never ending process.
yeah. And perhaps you need to tell it to them also that it's not something that you will do in a couple of weeks or whatever. That you need to keep learning throughout your life.
Yeah, I think people know this. Like
Hmm.
it's, if they think about any language, it's the same. But because of a lot of aggressive marketing and the feeling that they are falling behind, at some point they start believing these lies or just stop thinking about, just basic facts of life. So it is something that I have to repeat, like, no, there is no too weak solution. You cannot just put a book under your pillow and
Hmm.
automatically have the vocabulary in your head, that sort of thing. So it bears
Yeah,
repeating.
that is true.
Anna is saying, is there an anecdote you tell friends, as in a photographer and an English teacher walk into the bar?
Mhm. And one orders vegan sushi, and the other one orders charapi, right?
We'll need to do that and take a lot of pictures. It's a great combination.
No, this what did you say? Marmite, right?
You don't you
This
don't order
serve in
Marmite.
bars
No,
also.
no,
Marmite. Okay,
no.
no, it's not served in bars. Okay. Mm.
I've never been to one that serves it anyway.
Oh, so it's not like a normal part of a breakfast or something like that.
It is, but in your home.
Oh.
It's one of those things like, I don't know, like jam. It's not something you frequently see. At least I don't. Maybe jam is.
I don't know. From what I just think about, is this a British thing? Because there is, at least in Croatia, there is no thing. There is food for home and food that would be served somewhere else, but never outside of home. You can get
Um,
jam also,
think
like
of.
in
I, I
breakfast.
just I just thought of the thing. Think of chocolino and things
Okay.
like that that you make home. That's the category for Marmite. I would say you will have Marmite flavored things.
Okay, let's just analyze this. Chocolino for the rest of the world is a food for babies, but in Balkans it's food for any age. So perhaps this is the reason why it's not served in bars because it's food for the babies. I think that is a problem. Not that it's not appropriate, but
Yeah, it's instant. I think with Marmite, also, like jam, you can have homemade jam and then present it as a thing in your bar that your chef made. While Marmite is an industrial product that's always the same. So it doesn't make that much sense. But as I
yeah,
said, yeah,
but
Marmite
in
flavored
hotels you
things,
also have
okay.
these gems in those small plastic things, so it's
Maybe
all
they will have
industrial.
Marmite somewhere as well. I haven't seen it. Normally, it's like the normal continental stuff in the hotels I've been to. So
Yeah,
you need to
but
try it at home.
I'd love to see a bar that would have chocolino. That would be something special.
We need to explain what chocolina is, but I don't I don't really
It's
know what
baby
the
food, so
ingredients are.
what?
It's like a chocolate porridge kind of thing. Let's.
You just made it look tasteless. It's really, it has really great
It's chocolate
taste.
flavored. I mean, everyone likes chocolate.
Okay.
That's the selling point. I think the texture, not so much.
Well, it depends how you eat it. I usually put some muesli inside, so yeah, or cornflakes, so it's even crunchy and with all that taste. Yeah,
You can be creative with it. That's true.
yeah.
Samuel is saying a short
Samuel,
hello
hi.
from the Adriatic coast. Okay,
Yeah,
you're at the
he's
seaside.
enjoying the coast, so yeah, have a great
Enjoy
day
well.
there.
Yeah, it sounds nice actually.
Okay, did we answer all the questions
I
now?
think we have.
Oh, okay. So if you send us some additional questions, we'll probably be already off the live. So we might answer it in the comments later. Thank you for coming and thank you for all the questions. And see you next week.
Thank you very much. It's been fun hanging out with you and answering your questions. Take care, everyone.